Welcome back, Shalligators. Do I look a bit slovenly? Yes, I am. Because I have been running around trying to get ready for a trip that I'm going on in 3 hours back home. And I just wanted to take a minute to enjoy my mom's birthday in California. Nope. You know who had other plans? Jennifer motherfucking Lopez, as usual. I swear every time I go on vacation, this woman has to do something crazy where I have no choice but to film. I have no choice but to film. And I'm not some like crazy Jennifer Lopez stan. Now, we've talked about her lately because she has her weird rock opera that was all about being a love addict. We broke that down. We recently talked about her and Ben Affleck and the pros and cons of living apart and the pros and cons to keeping your relationship more low profile, which seems to be what's coming between them. Today, I found out, this is in the group chat on the Shallon, she's canceling her tour. Is J-Lo like massively in her flop era? And moreover, what do we do when we're in our flop era? When like maybe we've tried a whole bunch of new things, big swings, we're gonna go for that dream and it's just not hitting. It's not working, okay? And we've done videos on this from the point of view of sticking it out through what we call the sticky middle. The alarm goes off and you're like, fuck, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go train. That 5K, 10K, 1,000K is still a ways away. You're miles away from the excitement of when you start and you feel miles away from the light at the end of the tunnel. You're just in it. We've done videos on that. But what about if, I got through the middle and it just failed. I didn't get the book deal. I released this thing and no one bought it. I have a tour that got canceled. I gave everything to my relationship and it went belly up. I tried this totally new style, this new me. No one was into it. Okay. What do you do? How do you pick yourself back up? I'm going to tell you because given what I do for a living, I am not only in a career that has been around for like maximum a decade. I've been a full-time YouTuber for 5 years and I'm considered like one of the OGs, which is wild. What other profession has only 5 years of like previous runway? Like not a lot. A doctor like, oh, he's one of the best. He's one of the vets. Been doing it 18 months. But no, let him operate on your brain. It's fine. Like that's crazy. So I am used to being on a frontier and kind of like feeling my way through the dark on this. And a lot of things don't work out. Like I'll try a lot of stuff and either, there's not the conversion I want, or I just don't like it. I don't like doing it. And so I have gotten very used to like launching, really analyzing like, okay, is this good for me? Is this bad for me? Is it good for them? Is it bad? I have put in an infrastructure, an emotional infrastructure to deal with trying and being successful. Because hey, you have to have your own set of emotions for success, because with success comes a lot of other problems, scalability, more money, more problems, right? I'm going through some, talk about a second. And you also have to come up with a framework for when you try something and it doesn't go well. And it always seems like when it rains, it pours, right? It's never just like one thing. It's like, you're not gonna graduate on time, your friend is mad at you, this guy is ghosting you, blah, blah, blah. How can we bounce back from this? I'm gonna break it down, we're gonna talk all about it. But before we get started, don't forget about our 2 trips to Italy, you guys. Listen, one thing I know I'm good at is travel. And I also know that I am incredible at Italian history, which is weird and not useful all the time, but it's gonna be useful on these trips. If you wanna invest in yourself, if you wanna make some actual like grown-up friends, women who are genuinely gonna have your back the way you're gonna have theirs, if you wanna like expand your mind horizons and go on an amazing vacation to boot, come with me to Italy. We are like 75% sold out for these 2 trips right now. So we've got the Amalfi Coast and Rome in early September, and we have Rome, Tuscany, Florence just about a month later in early October. They are nice trips. They're high-end trips, all right? I don't travel low budget. I'm not taking you on a low budget trip. So if you really, again, want to invest in yourself, a once-in-a-lifetime experience to make some friends you would never probably be able to connect with, and sun yourself with me on the coast, sipping some wine, a limoncello, looking at men in the tight pants, go ahead and click down below. I also have to say, and I suppose it's ironic that I have to announce this in a video about things flopping, because that's not what happened. You guys probably already know based on the email that I had to send out, but I had to cancel the New York event. Not because of bad ticket sales. We sold out. And in fact, I was like, oh, amazing. I'm gonna like add 30 more tickets. Like, fuck it, let's do it. I usually keep things like around 70 people because I like to talk to everyone, and I don't want everyone to feel rushed. I don't want anyone to feel overlooked. Like, this is like a friendship hangout. You guys were not the problem. The venue was the problem. It was a Bryant Park Grill, and I'm not trying to like share too much of their business, even though I could just throttle them. I don't know what's going on over there, but their management has descended into absolute mayhem. And all of the things that these meetups have, I do a live Q&A. I need a PA system for it. We have a whole step and repeat photo backdrop. We have a photographer, videographer, all of these cool things. They're like, yeah, no, I don't think we want you to do that. No, don't do that. They literally said, you just need to keep it like really low pro and just kind of pretend like you're not here. The irony of saying, pretend you're not here to 70 alpha females. I was like, no. And I had explicitly outlined what these events look like. I sent reels, I sent the media decks. I mean, I wasn't like, yeah, I don't know, we're just gonna like be chicks hanging out. I was like, no. I need this space, I need this space. But initially I was like, cool, whatever. I can easily get a new venue. It's New York City. Yeah, it's New York City in wedding season, in graduation season, in corporate event season. Any place that was worth going was booked. Or the minimum was so expensive that it didn't make any sense. But actually, they were mostly booked. And I'm like, I'm not having this event at like McFadden's Irish Pub on 54th Street. I'm not. I could have easily pivoted there. Absolutely. Like, yeah, there's those venues for sure. That's not me. That's not you. That's not the experience I want. I would rather not do something than do it bad. I'd rather not do something than do it bad. Which, like, the trips, that we go on now, they're high end. I'm not taking you on a ratty fucking trip because it's cheaper. I want to give you quality things, fewer, better things. That's what I'm after in my life. So, I mean, we spent days trying to put this together and trying to triage this. And again, I would rather postpone something, do it right, than just like barf it out into the world. That's not me. That's not me. So we're going to pivot to August 28th. As of now, like, don't carve it into a stone tablet, but as of now, save the date for that. We're going to do it again. And we have a new venue, and I'm hoping it's going to be like bigger and better, maybe with a theme, maybe with a Gatsby theme. I don't know, because but now I have time to really sink my teeth into this and put something cool together for you guys. So I'm so sorry. I am so deep. I'm so frustrated. So J-Lo, I feel you a little bit here, girl. But hold on, Jen. What's really going on? I don't know if we can trust J-Lo. So when I heard that her concert went belly up, my first thought was low ticket sales, because there have been reports coming out that her tour is just not selling. And that in turn was making MGM, like the hotel in Vegas, those bosses very nervous, because she's got a residency that she's putting together there where she would make, are you fucking ready for this? $1 million a show. I've seen Jennifer Lopez in concert before she had her kids. She was actually pregnant in the show. I broke the news that she was pregnant because like her skirt blew up and you could like see her tummy. She was incredible. She really was. And she was like playing all the hits, Let's Get Loud, Waiting for Tonight. But that was 15 years ago? Like, her kids are like teenagers now. And I'm like, I cannot name one song since then. I guess this tour was going to be a greatest hits tour, which great. That it would have been so much fun. She is a great performer. Was I going to go? Probably not. Probably not. Sources close to J-Lo insisted that pulling the plug was not due to poor ticket sales, but rather for personal reasons and wanting to be with her kids. And sources also had said that some venues had 92% of tickets sold, 86%. That's not nothing. Like, I think that's great, right? But Live Nation, who runs tours, put out a statement, said Jennifer is taking time off to be with her children, family, and close friends. She hasn't really been doing anything for 15 years. Jennifer, you know what I wanted to do today? Take time off to be with my close family and friends. That's what I want to do today. And instead I'm making this dumb video. I'm not even wearing a bra. I think I slept in this shirt. I really can't be sure at this point. That's what you've done to me, Jen. But I wanted to get this out for you guys because I know what it feels like to ask yourself, am I in my flop era? Am I just a big failure? Because like I said, I in this career, not just in this career, in my career overall, I have always like swung for the fences. We're gonna talk about it in a second. I want to stick to J-Lo for now. So listen, maybe this is poor ticket sales. Maybe she is using this time to plug into her marriage with Ben Affleck because there's all these reports that they're on the rocks. I choose not to believe this because I really am rooting for them. I am. I love the nostalgia of getting back with your first love. Who doesn't love that story, right? And I do think that they get each other in a way that very few other people do. Maybe the crux of their relationship, though, is like trauma bonding. The trauma of being young and famous that like, yeah, very few other people can understand that at that point in time. I mean, there was Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson, and like J-Lo. I don't know that she's going to marry Paris Hilton. I'm really not sure Britney Spears is her type either. Like who can like meet you where you're at in terms of understanding your, I guess, your villain origin story, if you want to call it that. That's kind of wild, right? Maybe she is trying to spend time with her kids who are like 15. I think it's weird though that she's taken the past 15 years off. Because she's done some movies here and there, but like considering most people work, I don't know, every day, 5 days a week. I work actually every day. I'm here. I'm working today. What? The math ain't mathin' for me. And if she's looking for sympathy, you're definitely not getting it here. Like, okay, so you've done mostly nothing. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah, some movies. But let's say for at least the last, 5 years, we haven't heard shit from her. The last thing I remember her doing before her rock opera was Hustlers. And then that movie, Marry Me. Okay. Even if that's a movie every 2 years, you had at least, dude, a year off between. How many other people are taking a year off to the point that they cannot work in the forward? That's not enough. Like, come on. So, this is what I'm saying. Can we trust J-Lo? Like, what's actually going on? And of course, people don't owe us a ton of transparency about their weird, family situations or whatever. But what can we learn from this? Okay, what can we learn? It is difficult to think you might be in your flop era. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But we're going to take this video in two different directions, okay? Because this is like a bracket system. Either you are in your flop area or you're not. Let's focus on the positives first. Let's assume that you're not. You might be like, yeah, I mean, no one's telling me that I am. I feel like I am. Okay, well, the story is coming from inside of you. That's not good. And you know what? What you fear, you create. You will find what you're looking for. This is a truth I have come to realize with life. You'll find what you're looking for. If you are looking for people who chronically betray you, if this is your self-story, people always betray me. You're going to find what you're looking for in all of your interactions. You will gravitate towards those dynamics, okay? If you fundamentally believe, I make friends really easily, you will also find what you're looking for. So are you looking for a certain outcome here? Be real honest with yourself, because here's how you know. What is the story that you're saying? There's a difference between pain and suffering. We talk about this. Pain is a thing that happens. The tour gets canceled. The suffering is the story that is attached to it. The tour got canceled because no one likes me. No one cares about me anymore. I'm a fucking loser. And guess what? My last 2 movies sucked, and my last album sucked. Are you feathering this nest and taking it back? If so, this is you seeking. me canceling New York, I mean, I'm so disappointed, but I actually don't have, I have the pain. I don't have the suffering. One of my friends is like, you know, this isn't your fault. And I was like, no, I know. I'm sad, but it's not part of a larger spook story. They're like, well, of course I had to cancel this and I had to do this. I just don't think of myself like that. Maybe it's narcissism. I'm not sure. It's great though. But like, I don't think of myself as a failure. Even if I have something, an endeavor I try or something that actually does fail, there's a difference between something failing and you being a failure. And do you know what the difference is? It's actually the story. It's the narrative. Because what is the narrative? Is it a champion narrative? That's what I have. I have a champion narrative. I just kind of do. Or do you have, yes, the V word, a victim narrative? Do you have a victim narrative? So that when something goes wrong, you're like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. That's a victim narrative, okay? And like I said, the difference between being a champion or a victim is the narrative itself, And this is even more important if you actually aren't flopping. If you're just maybe in that sticky middle and you're like, I just fucking hate this right now and I can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, that doesn't mean it's not there. Have you ever been on a road trip? Can you see San Francisco from San Diego? Nope. It's there. Keep driving. Eventually, you will see it. I mean, are you in the middle of like Ventura and you're like, I can't see the Golden Gate Bridge. I'm turning around. No. You keep going. Why are you not doing that emotionally? Do it. Like, suck it up. Suck it up. You know, everyone who's ever achieved anything has been in the Ventura and they cannot see the Golden Gate Bridge. Everyone. It's like when you clean out your closet and you bring everything out and you have this point and you're like, what have I done? I'm looking at my office right now and I'm actually at that point. There's a box here. There's things everywhere. And I'm like, the only way out is through. What am I going to do? Burn the house down? Bolt the door shut? Never film in here again? No. I'm going to get through it. Am I going to love every minute? No. Why on earth do you think that you're supposed to? If this is your fundamental belief, and listen, it's okay if this is what you believe deep down, because we can rewire it, that like, I'm supposed to enjoy every step of the journey. No. Let me ask you, I need a call to action right here. If you have achieved something in your life, guess what you have? Please put in the comments what it was and what that sticky middle point was and felt like. Was it, I ran a marathon, but holy shit, like 2 months before and the alarm was going off and my body hurt, I was like, I hate this. Did you become a YouTuber and you're like, me figuring out how to SEO code something, I almost scratched my eyes out, but I figured it out. Because what you're telling yourself is, this is basically an excuse. If I don't love it, then I'm not meant to do it. Shut the fuck up. That's not true. That's literally not true. There is not one endeavor on planet Earth that you are going to love every single minute of the day. Not even sex. And I say that because sex is like the thing I like the most. There are points where I'm like, I'm kind of bored. I don't like that. I'd rather just be in bed. Don't touch me. I'm bloated. There's times when I'm like, I don't even want to do this. There's times when you don't want ice cream. There's times when you don't want this. There's just going to be those low points. The difference between a champion and a victim is the champion sticks it out. The champion doesn't expect it to be sunshine and lollipops all the time. There's a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. This is actually what it's about. And it's poorly titled because it seems like it's about other people's opinions rolling off your back. It's actually about how to not give a fuck and embrace the suck of achieving something. You just be like, well, I don't give a fuck that I hate it right now. I don't love, yeah. You can also watch, there's like a weird documentary about it. It's like weirdly animated, but it's good. And it's like, oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to love this all the time. So maybe you're not in your flop era. Maybe you're just in the sticky middle. Maybe you're not in the sticky middle. Maybe the flop era is not flopping at all. It just isn't necessarily what you want. You guys know, if you're in the Shallon entourage, I recently quit my trainer. quitting my trainer has gotten under my skin the way a fuckboy gets under my skin. Because I look at this experience, and I was bitching to one of my friends, and I'm like, flop era, the trainer situation. She's like, you are so much stronger. Like, this doesn't look that impressive, but I am stronger. My back is like rippling. My abs are abbing. Like, I am rock solid. And she's like, you are focusing on one area that wasn't what you wanted, which in my case with this trainer, he was just very discouraging. He's like, you're weak. You don't look like her. You don't look like her. I don't fucking want to look like those people. They look like the Penguin from Batman. I want her body. Okay. Good for you. You can like squat thrust a Chevy truck. I don't need to do that. I have never wanted to do that. I want to look hot. My body is decorative. But I got so focused on this one element of it not going perfectly that I lost sight of everything that really, really turned out amazing. And it's actually the thing I wanted to turn out amazing, because listen, I've had trainers that I was honestly getting fatter. I was looking worse, and they're like, hell yeah, you can lift so much more. And I was like, okay, like that. I'm not paying for compliments. I'm not looking for like an emotional prostitute here. I'm paying to have my body change. But I got really focused on this like hype man aspect of it, and I needed someone to keep me in check. So when you're like, it flopped, did it? Or maybe you're not focusing on the blessings. Maybe you had an inappropriate expectation. You know, expectations can become too high, especially if you're working on something for a really long time. You just daydream about it. You publish a book, and yeah, you published a book, but did it sell super well? No. Does that mean it's a flop? I could ask you that about my book. It's right here. One of my 2 books. I don't consider it a flop. Is it a bestseller? No. But did it sell? Yeah. But is it a bestseller? No. And you know what I think of? At least I published one through Random House. I didn't like print it out on a copier at the UPS store. I did that damn thing, both of my books. And anyone who's going to come against me be like, but it did it. Is it a bestseller? I'd be like, what the fuck have you published? Oh, is it nothing? Oh, well, I'm not even trying to be a writer. Okay, what are you trying to be? Oh, you want to open a smoothie shop? Do you own a smoothie shop? No. Oh, you work in an insurance company? Okay, so not only are you veering into my lane telling me what I'm doing wrong, your own lane is jack shit empty. I just don't abide those people. I don't listen to them. I don't have respect for them. I'm like, fuck you. Like, you're not even trying to do what I'm doing. No one above you is coming for you. No best-selling author is going to be like, oh, your book. They're not going to. They'll be like, fuck yeah, I know how hard this game is. And that's amazing. You're swinging for the fences. Good for you. Keep at it. Anyone who has something to say is beneath you. Anyone who has something to say is beneath you. And I love it when people try to chirp me. So I'm like, oh, I've gotten under your skin, and you just self-identified as beneath me. You just identified me as an eagle, and you're a pigeon, which is why you're like you're trying to like chirp at me. Sweetheart, trust me, you don't actually want my attention. You don't want an eagle to turn its eye on you, because that'll be the last thing you see is a bunch of talons coming right for your face. So perhaps your flop era isn't. I mean, really look at it. And you know what? This is the downside to having these big dreams and the covenant of the nerd, right? The covenant of the nerd, which I talk about, the promise. Hi, Lauren. The promise foisted on us nerd kids to like achieve, produce, A+, 1,500, 1,600, Ivy League. That are we ever happy? That's a whole other rabbit hole to go down, honestly. Like, that is huge. She's a friend, but she's also a career coach, Anna Lakomi, Lakomy. Look her up on Instagram. She literally does courses in this exact mind frame of no matter what I achieve, it's never right. It's never enough. It's never good enough. And even if it is technically perfect, I cannot rest to enjoy it. Can't do it. Nope. Flop era. You always have to be moving on to the next thing. Check her out, Anna Lakomi. Anyway. Okay, but what if you're like, that's great. That's great, Shallon. I'm so glad that you published a book. It's 2 books actually, but who's counting? What if you are like, no, something failed. I had to close the business. My custom koozies aren't selling. No one's watching my channel. I had the internship and they did not hire me on. Okay. The worst thing about these is that suffering story, not the pain. I mean, that's bad. That's bad. The fail, the loss, the flop, it's bad. It's the suffering that is dangerous, though. Because what that fear brain is going to tell us, and remember, our brain is a risk machine. Our brain would rather be alive than anything else. And historically, from a Darwinistic standpoint, being a negative Nelly kept you alive. Don't go out there. I wouldn't eat that if I were you. That was a survival thing. And so our brain is always going to default to that. It's always going to try to default to negativity if we let it, unless we train it to do otherwise. And if you like training your brain to do this, my mindset coach, Laura St. John. And by the way, we've got a very special retreat coming up. I'm going to talk about it next week. But this is what Laura trains you to do, is to default to positivity. And I have done her programs for years now, and I truly have rewired my brain. I don't sit and catastrophize anymore. I mean, we all have our low points, but the lows are not as low, and I bounce back so much faster with less neuroses and less like imprint. The bad times don't stick the way that they used to. And I'm able to launch new things. And if I have an event, I have to cancel it. I'm not like, I'm going to kill myself. I'm like, you know what? This happens. We're going to roll with it. It's not ideal, but I'm no longer attaching stories to things. I have the pain, but I'm not engaging in the suffering. So if you want to join her course and save 20% with my code, it's down there in the description of the video. She's incredible. And very easy, action oriented. You could start immediately. Anyway, the suffering, the story that our fear brain is going to tell us when we flop at something is never try this again. Never wear heels again. Don't do a smoky eye. Everyone laughed at you. Hey, that book didn't work. Oh, you're going to write another one. That's what your I need to stay alive brain is going to tell you. Stay as small as possible. Stay as small as possible. Here is one phrase that shuts that catastrophe, risky fear brain down. And it's a quote from Nelson Mandela. I never lose. I win or I learn. Madiba, the best phrase. I never lose. I win or I learn. This takes some fortitude, some motherfucking fortitude. I call it the emotional autopsy. Autopsies are disgusting, right? They're disgusting, horrifying, deeply awful. Don't want to see it. Why do we do autopsies? To prevent whatever happened from happening again, to figure out what happened. How did we get here? This is necessary whether you're looking at a dating relationship, you're like, okay, how do we get here? Or a career endeavor or something that you're swinging for and daring greatly for. What did happen? And this takes dispassion. A doctor doesn't do an autopsy on their own loved one. There is an outside person. We are not, this is tough. A conflict of interest is also the fear brain that's going to pull up and be like, I told you not to do this. Look how awful this is. Enlist some other people. Be like, why do you think that book didn't sell? Why do you think I had to close the flower shop? And maybe they're not going to know. But maybe they're going to say something and be like, well, I mean, I know that you always wanted to close when it was snowy so you could go skiing. I mean, people who open businesses, they work every day for 3 years. Or it actually was doing well, girl, but you were just, I think maybe thinking it would be profitable way sooner. Or you reached the sticky middle and it was you had to do the logistics of sending out these custom koozies and it was boring. You didn't like it. And they might have some answers. And don't ask your friend who's not doing anything with their life. Ask another person in that lane as much as you can find. Even if it's not the exact same lane. Because again, my career, not a lot of my friends are not influencers. One is. But I will ask my business-minded friends, what do you think I could have done differently? You have no idea what they're going to say. And they will respect you so much for asking. They're going to hype you up. Because they're going to be like, you know what? She's actually looking at this through the lens of business. Good for her. That I have respect for her. And they're probably going to say something to you like, you know what? Even if it wasn't the flower shop, the next thing you open, I bet it's going to take off, because you are looking at things through truly a lens of neutrality, autopsy-ishness, and not through the fear brain. You're looking at it through the Nelson Mandela brain. I win or I learn. Not every place is your destination. Something is just sometimes a roadmap. This goes for relationships. How many people have we dated and we look back, we're like, oh, that wasn't a man, that was a lesson. That man taught me blah, blah, blah. Those red flags I noticed prevented me from ever getting drawn into red flaggy things again. That wasn't a setback. That was a set up. You don't get there without the autopsy. And just time. And more than anything, trying again. Because again, in dating, okay, yeah, that guy was a lesson. I had to learn the lesson. I'm never going to date again though. Of course you're going to fucking date again. And it's, if anything, dating again will put things in perspective. You're like, oh, I never would have appreciated this really stable, good guy if I hadn't dated that toxic fuckboy. Wow. Wow. But you got to date the nice guy. You got to put yourself out there again. Here's a phrase that I use when I'm thinking about a risky endeavor, a new business venture, even a new outfit, even a new style change. And you guys probably watched my my spoiled girl summer video the other day. And I was talking about my trepidation of like making myself soft and vulnerable and how it's been like a journey over the last few years. And I was like, weirdly, the last piece of the puzzle was like how I dress. And I had these like weird blocks shopping for like girly things and hair ribbons because I'm like, I can't do this. I'm too old. I'm too lame. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. We're just going to do it. And I remember, and I wish I kind of said it in that video, but I am glad, I guess I saved it for this one. I go back to this phrase that a lot of my guy friends in finance and boyfriends in finance would always go back. They're like, let's see what the market can bear. Yeah, you know, we'll run up a flagpole, see what the market will bear. You know, sometimes you just, you got to try, see what the market bears. This means a few things. Number one, you don't know until you try. And these guys were talking about pricing products or selling something or stock or whatever. And they're like, I'm going to put a price on this thing and I'm going to put it out there. See if anyone buys it. See if anyone, I'm going to price it appropriately. I'm going to price it high so that I make a lot of money. Maybe people will buy it, maybe they won't, but I will get data. I will win or learn. And let me tell you something. These men get to run the world. They run Wall Street. They control way more of your life than you think they do. And that is their mindset. I win or I learn. And I love the phrase, let's see what the market will bear, because it depersonalizes it, right? And when I started doing these meetups, I've only done 2. It feels like I've done so many more because like I meet so many girls and they're so fun. But that was my thing. I'm like, well, I'm going to have, 60 tickets. Maybe 8 people will show up. I don't know. But my phrase was, let's see what the market will bear. This is radically different and healthier than saying, let's see if people like me enough to come. Nope. I could easily have said that to myself and other people. I could have easily inhabited that mindset and exposed, just like, whoa, made myself just this sitting emotional duck. No, this is a business decision. I am detaching myself like a business person would, and I'm using the phrasing of a business person. Let's see what the market will bear. I don't know, maybe 8 people will come up. Okay, then what? I didn't lose. I win. 60 people show up, which they do. Or I learn. 8 people show up. Okay, so we don't need a venue that big. We can make this like more of a slumber party vibe. We can have a dinner. Okay, that's a win. You launch version 1, you get feedback, you adjust, you launch version 2. Any business person tells you this. Are you even surrounded with these kinds of people? Do you know where to find them? Come to Italy. This is like, these are no-brainer things. This is just a standard mode of operation for successful people. You are doing this if you're a successful person, you run a successful business, you're doing this and you're not even clocking it. Like I said, I was like, yeah, let's see what the market will bear. I wasn't like, burr, 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 here's a phrase I'm using. It was just like, we're going to try it. Yeah. And like I said, with outfits, I'm going to buy these dresses. I'm going to buy these hair bows. Let's see what the market will bear. Are people going to be like, loser? Hey, did you know you're a loser? And also you're too old to wear that bow. No one actually said that. I wore like my little bow, my dress on a date, and the guy was like, you look adorable. And he went on and on. He's like, I just really resonate with women and their feminine. Like I love how you just are. Oh, the market could bear it, honey. The market could bear it. But I wouldn't have known unless I tried. And maybe I would have gone into that date like all skittery and weird if I had used the phrasing, I really hope he likes this outfit. I hope everyone approves of how I look right now, versus the neutral, the data-driven, the unpersonal. Let's see what the market bears. If we are unwilling to remove the suffering story, that suffering story will lock into place. Nature abhors a vacuum. Our mindset abhors a vacuum. And so if you don't take away that suffering story and very specifically implant a champion narrative, or at the very least, the neutral finance bro, see what the market bears. If you don't put that there, you probably aren't going to try for something else. You probably aren't going to pick yourself up and dust yourself back off. You're probably gonna collapse into a victim narrative, and it gets habitual. You just get used to it. It's just your normal mode of operating, because I have rewired myself to have a more finance bro, powder blue button up, navy fleece vineyard vines vest. That's like who I am on the inside. Like I am a Wall Street finance bro. Sometimes I walk by the mirror, I'm like, it's a girl, isn't it? I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm not a finance bro named Bickford from Martha's Vineyard, who is literally a man that I dated. Yeah. Because I have inhabited that weird finance bro self, I feel okay to launch things, and I feel okay to close them. I'm okay to close chapters in my life when I'm looking at them from a data-driven point and be like, it's not working. The ROI just is not there. And yes, I'm looking at my business this way, and I'm almost lucky that I have a business to run that forces me into this mode. But listen, your emotions will we know a lot of people out there who run a business like they're running a fucking dating relationship. Well, they have emotional attachments to things. They can't make healthy decisions. It's emotion. That sinks small businesses. It's not fucking Walmart, dude. It's bad management. It is mushy ass, non-data driven, no autopsy, emo decision making. That's what does it. Okay. I watch it. I watch my friends do it. I'm like, this is the choice you're making. Okay. It's not a data driven choice, but because I am lucky enough to have this outlet, and listen, you have outlets to be data driven as well. Don't act like you don't. It makes it easier for me to carry this over into personal. If you're in the Shallon entourage, you know about Lily? Yeah. It's this bitch here in Bozeman who hates me because I wasn't born in Montana, is the long and the short of it. Let me see what I can do about that. Is it too late for a late-term abortion on myself? Like, what would you like me to do? What would you like me to do? She is an alcoholic, morbidly unhealthy, but yeah, turns on me. Got it. She's just fucking jealous. She's just jealous. And we had been friends, and then she turned on me. And one of our mutual friends, literally yesterday, she's like, I really feel like if you guys just talked it out, you could make up. And I said, let me just stop you right there. She was a net zero in my life, even before all of this. She contributed nothing. She took nothing. She was simply not a person to me. Sorry. She was a net zero. She contributed nothing. She was never inspiring. I don't hate her because I don't think about her. That was a very data-driven way to deal with the situation. It wasn't like, you know what, she hurt me and I don't want to be friends with her. Because I've been working on my business all day, like I've been dealing with the New York thing. I've been in like such hardcore business mode that I'm like, yo, you're getting the splash zone from this business mode. And I think that was actually an amazing thing to say because it was icy. It was icy. It's like, what's the comeback? When someone's like, this person means nothing to me. I don't care if they hate me. I don't care what they think of me. I don't think of them at all. Like, what's the comeback there? Nothing. That's an ender. And it is an ender, and it is so icy, and it is also still the high road because it's data driven. Because it's, see what the market bears. It's finance, bro. It's a powder blue button up in a text. So when you think about your flop era, think about your learning era. Think about your learning era. And here's a place to start if you don't know what to learn. Are you blaming someone? And sometimes things are other people's fault. Your employee stole from you. Your developer didn't code the page right so the link doesn't work. I get it. Like people, my venue, like there's nothing I could have done here. I did everything I could. My dotted my I's, crossed my T's, I was squared away. Sometimes shit just happens, for sure. But if you look back, because remember, now we're looking at the suffering stories. We're looking for patterns. This is part of the autopsy. If you are chronically like, well, I could have done this, but I could have run that marathon, but my husband wouldn't let me. I could have graduated top of my class from law school, but my sister just always was calling me. You know, like if you are chronically defaulting to other people, you need to grow up. Or like I don't care. Don't stay there. You're never going to be the success that you want to be. You're never going to be that person. And therefore, you're going to get deeper and deeper and deeper into that victim narrative, because what is a victim? I mean, we talk about a victim of a crime. What does that imply? There's a perp. Someone did something to you. Victim narrative. A victim needs a villain. They walk hand in hand. A champion, I guess, also needs an opponent, but they're not victimizing their opponent. It's a fight, they win. It's a game, they win. They triumphed. There's something they're triumphing over. That's the side I want you to be on. Fuck, I'd rather you be in your perpetrator narrative than a victim narrative. You'd be like, I am the problem. I'm the whole problem. I love it. I love this for you. That's fantastic. But if you don't look at this, and if you don't take responsibility for your failures, which, hey, this means you also get to take responsibility for your successes. We love this. And I get this. I run my own business. There's almost no one to blame besides me for things. And it's like, ugh, who did this? Oh, it's me. It sucks. If you don't do that work, you're always going to look at champions and feel resentful. And then going back to what we said, you're always going to self-identify as less than. And the champions out there, they're going to see it. And the predators out there, the actual perpetrators, they're going to see it too. We talked about this in the Diddy video. We talked about this in the Court of Thorns and Roses video yesterday. They are going to hone in on your victim narrative because, again, they're going to understand she loves to see herself as a victim. I am only too happy to be the perpetrator. She needs that. She set up her life with this role to fill of someone to blame. They should have done this. Meh. And if she's blaming someone, that means she's given them a lot of control. I'm willing to be in control. I don't give a fuck if she blames me. I'll be long gone by then. Who cares? Who cares? Blame only matters if I give a fuck about this person. I don't. I give a fuck about what I can get from her. Oh, that paycheck for 3 months? Yeah, I'm not going to do anything on that website. Go fuck yourself. I don't care. That's fine that she can blame me. I'm gone. Nature abhors the vacuum. If you don't have a positive narrative, you will impose a negative one. So no, you're not in your flop era. Sorry. Sorry about it. You come here hoping to feel sorry for yourself. This is not the channel. You're not in your flop era. The flop is flopping down the dramatic flops on the bed and never getting up again. That's the flop. The narrative is the flop. The suffering is the flop. It's not the pain. Pain happens. Things fail, they don't sell, they go belly up, you wash out. That is life. That is life. And I encourage you to read some books about or by very successful people. Have you ever really dug into Elon Musk's journey? I have. I think he's fascinating. Is he cool? No, he's fascinating. I mean, I think most villains are fascinating. I'm a villain. But I mean, his life was up and down. He would go bankrupt and he'd be overdrawn. He was borrowing money from friends for groceries, like after inventing PayPal, not like when he was 18, like after he was successful. There's a million ups and downs. And you know what? Just remember that if there's one thing human beings love, it's resurrection. We base our gods around that, don't we? We love a comeback. We love someone who gets the fuck back up. Why do we love this? Because that is what makes a leader. We also love it because we, on some level, smell how rare that is. And when someone can do it on a big level, like the big JC, we're like, woo! We are drawn to these people. So just because everyone else in your life is flopping and stays flopped, be the Jesus. Resurrect. That's what makes a champion. Let me know what you guys have to say. I wish United would get off my dick. Like, looks like you haven't checked in for your flight yet. Did you think I will be there, okay? I'll be there. Can you just let me know what you guys have to say. Come to Italy. It's going to be such an amazing, amazing time. If you just need to shake it off, if you need, like I said, to make some adult friends, people who are already in this mindset of resurrection, of daring greatly, of trying things, of being data-driven, and you don't have that where you are, come with me. Invest in yourself. Invest in your future. Invest in some really cute lemon printed outfits. You're gonna need them. Okay, I will see you later, Shalligator. Next time we're gonna be back with another video on A Court of Thorns and Roses. I already recorded it, can't remember what it's about. We'll see, we'll discover together. I love you guys.